All right, guys. Content creation. My name is Tim Abel, and I will be taking you through the process as it borders on how to create contents that will help attract your needed audience. So we shall run through this with the speed of light. First and foremost, I must say that about 30% of what I'm going to be talking here has been discussed in the first content, and you can go to the platform and watch it in case you need background information before you come in here. Because the truth be told, you need to understand what content creation is all about first before you can start writing, before you can start creating. So what we'll be discussing basically will be why we need contents. I have talked about that in the first episode, like I said, but of course this is just to give us a reminder before we go into the practical aspect, where I will be showing you exactly what I do. The next one is reminding you of number one rule for creating content. Then the third will be the types of contents you can write and the ones you should be writing. And of course, I'm going to use the three formulas I use for now to show you what writing content is all about. So let's get started. Why do we need content? One, for education. You want to educate people about something. You want to educate people about a product, about a disease, about a service. For instance, I have a telephone now. Having this telephone, and I want to sell it to people, or this mobile phone, and I want to sell it to people. Obviously, I can't just go to the market and say, hey, buy this phone. I need to tell them about what this phone does, or why this phone is good, or what this phone can do. So it becomes part of what we call educating the public, or educating your target audience. Now, as you try to educate them, you are at the same time promoting your product and winning minds, winning your target audience, their heart, towards making a decision to buying the phone. Now, you can also create content that promotes your product basically. It could be a campaign you want to run, and you just have to create content for it. Now, you can also use same content for selling your products. You can use it for branding purposes. You can use it to support your customers. Maybe create content that will teach them what to do when they come in contact with one or two challenges and all of that. Then you can also use content to actually spur ideas, or get people to align with your ideas. And even if it is not in use yet, you can just use content to actually get to see people's opinion or ideas about it. Then probably use that to transform your own product so that you can win the market. Then again, sorry please, again you can use products to actually, sorry, you can use content to actually inform the public. Maybe you want to make an announcement, you just use your content to do it. And if you want to actually become influential online or offline, it's all about content. So if you observe in this world, most people who actually are successful today are people who really know how to communicate to their audience and be able to pass information that will be of use to their audience. Those kind of people become very influential, very influential. So we will be taking you through all of this in the next videos. Now, the number one rule I've also always talked about is when you're writing, always remember this, that it's all about your readers, it's all about your listeners, it's all about those who are viewing or watching your videos. Basically, not about you. Don't. It's not something you have to talk about you. People actually get discouraged to look at or read from you when it's all about you. They want to learn from you, and if you must talk about you, it has to be a story about your experience and how you were able to overcome it. So I have talked about that in the first episode of this program. So go over and watch that for the speed's sake. Now, these are types of contents: how-tos, quotes, reports, arguments, and all of that. All of these I've also talked about in the past, in the last episode. So we will be working with content creation using any of this. So the first one is the thread. I call it the thread. So to create a content, let's do the practical steps now. I call it a thread. So let's do the practical step. I open a Word document now, and let's take, for instance, of course I'm going to teach you how to source for content to create. So let's look at the possibility of saying we want to work on a type of content. Let's use these how-tos, and probably in the line of duty, or in the line of duty, of course, on my social media platforms, I raised a question the other time. I said, who wants me to talk about something, and what specifically do you want me to talk about? And I got some people who said how to create content, how to start a business without money, how to do this and all of that. So I am going to use the content thing as an article to create now. Remember, I said the first formula is thread, right? And T stands for title. Then H stands for hook. Then R stands for release. Then E stands for emphasize. Then A stands for apply. And D stands for download. Now, this is one of the formulas a lot of people use worldwide. A lot of people use worldwide. So once you do something like this is what I usually like to do. I like to first create the box, right? I create a box and I bring it close. Then I move this to this point, and I move this to this point. I move this to this point. Just copy, cut, and Control V, paste. Cut, Control V, paste. Now cut, Control V, paste. Alright, so we're using the formula number one, formula 1, which is thread. In fact, I would advise that you just try to stick to this all the time. It's a very good one. Now I made mention of the fact that a lot of people wanted me to create, to teach them how to create content. Some said how to start a business without money. Some said how to create canvas and all of that, pictures, graphics and all of that. So what I'm going to do here is simple. I want to use the content creation since this is the topic I'm dealing with right now. So how I'll use a topic like how to create powerful contents that attract readers. Do you understand? This is very common. Of course, there are people who have written things about this, and if you go and copy exactly what they've done, you may not get the kind of attention that Google will give you or your other readers will give you. So always think about how you can twist your words so that you can drive in that emotions that we've always hinted on and still get people to read from you. Now, what are the emotional words here? Powerful. Powerful is a very great emotional word that will resonate with people, and you can use a lot of things to actually just make your own a difference. You can equally still copy your title and go online to search for how many people have used it or for how often it is. Now this is saying thanks secrets to creating engaging content that will attract. Now this is someone who has written this one says how to create better content for your customers. That's Nepal. This one says 13 content marketing hacks, how to create great content step by step. Now these are different writers that have written on content creation, so it shows that this your own is unique. It shows it is unique how to create powerful contents that attract readers. So I can just come and say beautiful, that's a lovely title. For some people, they would actually finish writing the hook first before they even talk about creating a title for it. So it just depends on how you can use your analytical skills or to create your content. So after writing this, the next thing is the hook. The hook is what you can actually use to keep the reader who has seen your headline, to keep the reader on the platform for as long as you want. Now, most times people go by first, which is the most important thing to do. People go by first talking about a problem, because that's the only reason why somebody would actually want to pay attention to you. Nobody has that all the time. So when you put their problems first in their face, they want to stick and learn what exactly you want to talk about. So how to create powerful contents that attract readers. You can use all methods. Now there are two basic methods I love to use. One is the story method, and the second one is just going straight to the problem method. I'll give you an example. Let's say this is number one, using the story approach for my hook. I'll do it this way. Sometimes in 2004, I was in the middle of a business and it was required of me to create a content the company could use to attract readers to their platform. Incidentally, it was a major problem I had suffered for too long and never bothered to learn about. Woo! This day was going to become a memorable day for my life, because what happened afterwards is damn regrettable. This is why no one should ever be comfortable doing business without a good formula to always create powerful contents. So, as I was saying, we got started, and after writing, it was proofread by 6 people. None of them show indication that my article resonated with their feelings. I would be quick to blame anything around, so I told myself and my boss that we lost out because those people didn't like him in the first place. A few months down the line, I met with this guy who told me that he stumbled on my content and he had pity on me because I actually had something great to write about, but that I didn't put them well enough to resonate with readers. It was at this point I began to search for knowledge and I met this breakthrough. From that day henceforth, everything I wrote became something people would even have to call me privately to discuss their problems even more. It became like a viral thing anytime I drop my article on our platform. So today, I know that this is a major hindrance for most entrepreneurs doing businesses online. So I will be teaching you the best 3 formulas I have used to succeed with creating content for both online platforms and online and offline platforms. So stick with me as I run through it. Beautiful. Now this is the first approach I've used, using story. Now if I don't want to use story, I could just come here and say, have you been finding it difficult to attract readers to your posts or contents, even when you are so confident that what you have written is powerful enough to attract all your target audience? If you have this problem, I am so confident that after reading, if it's writing you're writing or watching this video, whatever, your story will change forever. Boom. Now this is just another method of starting or creating your hook. Now the next stage is to relate. In relating, you're actually trying to let them see the essence of why a bad content can make you not make money at all online, or why a good content can make you rave all kinds of money in the world. Now let's take an example here. Relate. We're talking about how to create powerful content that attract. I can just say that, let me start by saying that scientifically proven 99% of people who buy products from you didn't buy because they love you. They bought because your contents took care of their fears. Do you understand? Fears. That's relating. Sorry, fears. That's relating it. Now, you can go further by saying that the contents you create determines the type of sales you will be making in your business. Therefore, if your contents suck, be rest assured that your sales will suck as well. But if your contents are great and so great that people can't just let go but share with others, then you can be rest assured that you will be making a lot of monies while also saving so much monies for adverts. Then emphasize. By emphasizing, you have talked about how content can actually grow people's sales or reduce people's sales. So here you want to talk about basically how to grow their sales. So on emphasizing, you can just go here and say, now, if you must know this, contents can be created for various purposes. The contents you create for sales of a product can't be the same you will create for passing an information that will attract your customers to you. That's why under content creation we have things like sales copy and blah blah blah, just like that. Then you can say one of the best ways to create a content that attracts is first by applying the you first approach. Now you may be asking, what is the you first approach? Right? It is simple. It is simple. Full stop. it says when writing, always have the reader's interest in mind first. For example, notice at this point you can now start bringing examples. For example, if I am writing about contents now, what I must bear in mind is you first. So I would start by addressing your problems. Boom. Now this is how to emphasize. Then by addressing your problems, I can start getting your attention for everything I write, and you will be willing to release your money. Just some things like that. Then it comes to the point of apply. Apply now says, after telling them all of this and emphasizing it, what you need to do is to tell them what to do, the next line of action with what they have learned. So this is what I want to do. I love to use captions here most times, or rather bullet points most times. I love to use bullet point most times, sorry. So this is what I'll do. Oh my god. Okay. I love to use bullet points most times. So this is what I'll do. Now I am sure that with all you have read or watched so far, you can start writing your best contents that will attract 99% of your target audience. Right? So before I let go of you today, let me remind you about the things you must learn and start doing immediately. So I use bullet points here. Straight. Always bear in mind the you first approach for writing. Or creating content. Number two, I can just say don't ever assume you know it all. Try to research other contents on same topic. Number three, read as much books as you can in your niche so that you can become the influencer that speaks on the matter the most. Just give them things and all of that. Then you can still say, don't forget that this is about increasing your sales. So always apply all of the above if you must start making unimaginable sales that you've always wanted. Boom. That's it. Now the next thing is download, and here we usually call it call to action. The essence is actually to ensure that after giving them all this information, to keep your audience to continue to stay with you, you need to give them 1 or 2 actions or 3 actions to do. So most times what people who use Instagram or social media will do is, oh, please subscribe, or you can say, kindly share this video with your friends or people you want to